In this video, we'll discuss email sync on the HTC Droid Incredible. First of all, let's go over what email sync means. When we set up corporate email on your phone, we tie your email account over the air directly back to our email server. What that means is that it's a fully synchronized email account with your Outlook email account, and any changes you make on the phone will reflect changes on the server and vice versa. So, for example, if you delete an email on your phone, it'll delete on your email account, or if you make a change to an email or save a draft or send something, it'll also do it from the phone as well. Or you'll be able to see that on your phone as well, and vice versa. The phone synchronizes email, contacts, and your calendar items from your corporate email account in Outlook. So to start, let's go ahead and go into the email program on the Droid phone. To do that, we can go into Mail here. And as you can see here, there's a green bubble with the number 6 in it on the Mail icon. What that means is that there are currently 6 unread items, new items that I haven't read yet in my list of emails in my inbox. So if we tap on Mail here, you'll notice in bold, highlighted in bold, are 6 messages that I have not read yet. This is our inbox. Again, at the top here, you'll see that bubble with the number 6 around it. Number 6 in a bubble. That just shows the amount of unread items that are in there. If you want to browse this list, scroll up and down. You just simply track your finger up and down, and that'll allow you to see the various items in your inbox. If you want to read a particular item in your inbox, simply select the email you want to look at. So in this case, we'll start with the first one here. And as we can see, there's an email in here from thevtext.com with the subject text and message body of text. Down below, we have the options to reply or reply all. And that's pretty straightforward. You also always have more options if you hit the menu button. You can mark it as unread. You can delete it from here. You can compose a new email and leave this email open in the background, or you can choose to forward it. And then you can hit the return key to get out of that menu. Another option you have available to you are these up and down arrow keys. As you can see, up is grayed out because there are no emails newer than this one. But if you press the down arrow key, this allows you to flip through different messages in your inbox quickly without having to go back, hit and return, go back out to the inbox, go to the next one, etc. Instead, you can just start with the first one and just sit there and flip through them if you want. The next email and the next email. And as you flip through each one of these, it'll mark it as unread. If you want to keep, or it'll mark it as read. If you want to keep it unread, you go menu, mark unread. So that way, if you go back to your Outlook and you want to read it again, that's a good way to mark it unread so you read it again, or you'll know to read it again when you get to your Outlook. So you can press the return key to go back to the inbox at any time. If we press this down arrow right here, this will show us what's currently being synced. In this case, it's active sync. Now we're down to 3 unread messages. We don't really need to mess with that. Hit the return key to get out of that menu. If we press the menu key down here, this gives us more options. We can choose refresh, which will refresh the messages in our inbox. And it'll also do a full synchronization with the server. It's kind of a manual way of synchronizing with the server so that you can see if you have any new messages or calendar items or new contacts updated from the server. If we go back into menu, we also have the option to browse different folders. These are the same as Outlook, so you'll have your sent items, your deleted items, your drafts. That'll show any saved messages that you haven't sent yet, anything that might be in your outbox, and then also your junk email. And you can press the return key to get out of that. Then go back into menu. The delete function here will give you the option to delete multiple items at once. So if you hit the delete, then you can select which ones you want to delete. You can go through here and scroll through the list and say, oh, I want to delete those things. And then it'll say delete and then have a number next to it the amount that you've selected, and then it'll delete them. I'm just going to go ahead and hit cancel here, and then go back into menu. Actually, press return. You can also press and hold on any message and delete it manually that way, or you can open it, mark it unread, flag it, or reply if you want to. If you scroll down, you have more options: reply all, forward, or move it to a different folder like the sent items or something like that. Also, if you have subfolders, you can move them there as well. And then to exit out of this menu, press return. To compose a new email, you can press the menu key and hit compose. This will open up a new email. You can tap in here and type in the name of the individual you'd like to send it to. When you start typing in an individual's name, it will populate with the contacts first. If you hit this, that'll give you the option to search the corporate directory. So for example, if we typed in my name, and then hit search, my name appears there as well. Now it's important to note that when you do a search for the individual's name, so for example, when I started typing my name in there and I hit the little person icon next to it, if I type in here, if I start typing in Tony, it's going to pull up the results from the phone first, or any the contact lists you currently have on the phone. So if we hit X, the other option is the company directory. So you actually, before you type anything here, you need to tap company directory. Then you can go in here and start typing the person's name and hit search. So it's kind of misleading, but that's the way you search the corporate directory if you want to search it directly from an email, rather than having to go to your contacts and download the contact first, then send the email. This is a quick way to search the company directory. So at any time you can just type in the company directory. Another way you can do this too is if we hit the back arrow or the return key here and hit cancel, we hit discard, hit OK. If in the inbox we go menu and then go more, actually go back, compose. Actually, that appears to be the only way to do it, is to hit the person icon and then hit company directory. You can also flip back to your device contacts if you want to go back to searching on the phone itself. So we'll go ahead and hit return. Send an email to myself. And hit search. Hit OK. So now the name of the person that I want to send to, which is myself on this phone, appears in the list, and there'll be multiple people in this list if you want to send to multiple people. Then you can tap in the subject, type in test, select the word you want, and then tap in the subject line. Just type in test. Then when you're done, you can press the return key to remove the virtual keyboard and hit send. Also too, it's important to note too, at any point you can always, and now the email appears in the inbox, at any point you can select an email. You can do this in a lot of different applications, and you can turn the phone sideways, and that'll put it into landscape mode versus portrait. It's a lot easier to read emails if you do it that way too. It's a lot easier to type as well. So let's go ahead and put it back to portrait here. The phone will actually auto-sense whether it's in portrait or landscape mode. So that's how to compose an email and reply to an email. So if we hit the return key, we'll go back to our inbox. If you want to find additional settings for email, at any point you can just hit the menu key as we've been doing. And then you can also choose to sort your email. It'll give you a list of options to sort. Be careful with this, as any option you choose to sort with will be the default format you'll open to when you go into your email. So you might not see your most recent because you might be in some sort of sorted mode. Press the return key to exit that. Go back into menu. If you go more here, you'll have more options. You can do a new meeting invitation. What that means is it'll basically just create a calendar item, which we'll go over in a future video about creating calendar items. But this is a quick way to create a calendar item and send an invitation to somebody. Accounts list, which I already showed before, you don't need to worry about that. The out of office is handy if you want to set your out of office from your phone. And then, of course, settings. Settings will allow you to specify some general settings. You can choose your default font size. You can